KILR Killer Game.
Hello, gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the Killer Gamer, and welcome back to the tour around the world featuring the Commodore Amiga SubLogic Flight Simulator 2, where we are following the same flight plan as the Commodore 64, and the Microsoft Flight Simulator 3 is following the same flight plan as this one, because Flight Simulator 3 was actually based off of this. This is the third generation, even though it's Flight Simulator 2, technically it's Flight Simulator 3. But yeah, this and the Atari ST were considered the next generation. That's obvious when you look at the two of them. And then Microsoft wanted that ported over. And so that's where Microsoft Flight Simulator 3 came up. But Microsoft, well, that's when they started getting the SubLogic team with them. And we didn't see anything further for the Commodore 64 and the Amiga. And then they were able to develop Flight Simulator 3 into Flight Simulator 4, which has got the custom content. You can have the sound instead of the PC speaker and all that. So this one here actually does have an engine sound. That's really all that we've got on this, is a couple of sounds. One is the engine sound and one is the landing, which is unique to this one because it sounds like an airliner landing, which is kind of odd for a Cessna. And that's it. There's no landing gear sound. There's no flaps. Nothing like that. Whereas you did hear that on Flight Simulator 4 when you added the sound upgrade to it. And some of that carried over into Flight Simulator 5 as well. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about our flight. Okay, so here is our SubLogic Flight Simulator 2 map. We're right here at Fort Wayne, and this is an exciting flight because we are switching over to a whole new scenery disk. We're going to be moving from Scenery Disk 9 to Scenery Disk 11. And we're going to be going in this direction, right there, going off in that direction. And we'll be coming in right about here. So there is a Rosewood VOR that we can tune into to make sure that we're in the right area and that we have that the scenery disk is actually loaded. But we're going to be going here to Toledo Express. So we'll use Rosewood as a reference. But once we can get this Waterville tuned in, then we can just fly pretty much directly there, and we should be able to see the airport and land. As a matter of fact, if we delete this here, all this stuff. Okay, so if we go from Waterville at a heading of 330, that should put us right about there. And I wish this thing was thinner so we can line up with the runway. It's a little tricky because of how the pixels and everything look, especially from a distance. And you may have noticed something else. This is no longer cut off on the side like it was. I had a trouble earlier because whenever I tried to load a scenery disk, it just froze. and I figured out why. I was using an older version of Flight Simulator 2. I think I was using 1.0. 1.2 is what I'm using now, and it works with the scenery disk. And I think that, I don't know, that might have something to do with why it was freezing. Maybe the scenery disks weren't compatible with 1.0. I don't know. But yeah, so everything is working. We're no longer in PAL mode, which was the only way I was able to get it to work. And ironically, that was version 1.1. Let's go ahead and get... Why did I take the map down? I need the map so I can see it. So it's over on this computer over here. All right, so 117.5 is Rosewood. We'll see if we can tune that in. 117.5. Yep, it's there. Another thing about Flight Simulator 3 is that you have a little checkbox here by the DME, which allows you to switch between VOR 1 and VOR 2, and unfortunately we don't have that here. Like I said, Flight Simulator 3 is a port from this and a bit improved. Like, you can have clouds out in the sky. You don't see it, but when you get up to the air, there are these bubbles that that are in the air. That was like the earliest form of clouds, and you can't do that here. When you put in clouds, it's pretty much overcast, just like it was on the Commodore 64. Okay, so we got that tuned in. Let's go ahead and... Oh, come on. I thought I could just click on this. Nope. Thought I could click and hold. Apparently not. Can I type here? Nope. Now, luckily, we can get a signal from Rosewood, even though the scenery disk isn't loaded up yet. Okay, so we're good to go there. Heading of 126, and we'll tune in Waterville 113.1, which that VOR actually no longer exists. Because when you look it up on Navigraph, it's not there anymore. I gotta look at my reference card and see what the shortcut is for VORs. If it even has a shortcut. Sitting here trying to click is a little annoying. Alright, well, that should be close. Okay, so we're all good to go. Let's go ahead and get this started. Now you may recognize that sound. That is the same digitized sound that is on Flight Simulator 4 when you add the sound graphics aircraft update. Or just SGA. A lot of people were referring it to at the SGA update. And the other upgrade was the AAF, the Aircraft Adventure Factory, I think was... I'd have to look at my box to see. Keyboard controls are a little different too. They're based on what was used on the Commodore 64, which makes sense. If I remember correctly, we have an ATIS here. At least I think we do. Yeah. Or no. Whoops. I gotta change that. Yeah, we do. Okay. 121.25. There we go. Fort Wayne Municipal Information Foxtrot. 2100. Zulu weather. Visibility 10. Temperature 51. Wind, it's coming from heading 190, but at 0 miles per hour. Contact them, let you know you have Foxtrot. It's like the transponder saying, just click all this stuff. Doesn't do anything. Debugger, hey, over there on YouTube. Oh yeah, the sound is definitely better. And you may find this interesting, but this digitized sound is the same one that's on Flight Simulator 4 when you add the sound, graphics, aircraft update. And I think it might be the same as Flight Simulator 5. The only thing that is different here is the landing. It sounds like a jetliner landing. Not like a Cessna. That's it, though. That is the only sounds that we have on... Well, and crash. The landing gear, there's no sound. There's no sound for flaps. You did have that on Flight Simulator 4. It used... What did it have? Like FM... It wasn't digitized sound. It was something else. And those sounds actually carried over to Flight Simulator 5 also. Like the flaps. The flaps were not... a digitized sound. But it's all interesting from a historical perspective. Oh, we have a black line here for a taxiway. That seems to be a thing. You and I have something in common. That's exactly what I did. Commodore 64 Flight Sim was my first one. That was on our family computer. This was my first Flight Sim on my computer that I had bought, which was the Amiga 500. And as we know, the games on the Amiga they kicked ass, right? I had the video toaster. I'm sure you remember that. And Lightwave 3D. And if you're a fan of Babylon 5, you know that they had a farm of Amigas with Lightwave 3D rendering everything. And then when Flight Simulator 5 came out on the PC, I'm just like, oh, I gotta get it. It looks so good. And then, with the Implant board, do you remember Implant? Which was the Mac emulation. Eventually, they came out with the PC emulator, which was absolute garbage. I tried to run Flight Sim 5 on that. Yeah, right. That's when I bought my first PC. I still had my Amiga. I still have it now. But yeah, that's the same exact reason why I had gone to a PC. TextRich! Good to see you again, buddy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and as far as the doing an Amiga stream, I have fond memories of the Amiga because it was the first computer I ever bought. I still have my Amiga 500. Unfortunately, it doesn't work anymore because I was trying to upgrade it and I did something wrong, apparently. Had an Amiga 2000. I don't think I have that anymore. I'm not sure. And then I have an Amiga 4000, which was the desktop model. And then a buddy of mine who I think has passed away by now. He was an old fella who did video editing for a living. He had switched to the PC and he gave me his Amiga 4000 tower. It was not the official 4000 tower. This one was when they had those conversion kits for the Amiga 4000 where you could put all the stuff inside the tower. Yeah. So I've got 2 Video Toaster 4000 boards and 2 of the Flyer boards, which no longer get used because it's all analog editing. And, well, everything is digital now, so. Niels! Hey! I want to do more streams with the Amiga, more types of games with the Amiga. Like Lemmings, for example. The only version that is good for Lemmings is on the Amiga. The music was the best. And then there were the Psygnosis games, which actually Lemmings was too, but whoa. So, like the Killing Game Show, man, I played that one a lot. Shadow of the Beast. Are those ringing a bell? There was Aqua Venture. There was Blood Money. I loved how that one started. Blood Money. Yeah, I got to do a stream on that one. And those Psygnosis games were hard as heck. I might be able to get like maybe 4 screens through it. Man, those games were so hard. I did manage to get all the way through Lemmings, though. What is that out there? Is that a fuel box? What's the fuel box doing out there? Oh, it disappeared. Oh, my flaps are down. It's because I was hitting the wrong key. I was trying to get my... Oh, my landing gear's still down, too. There we go. I was trying to get my elevator trim to work there. I'm so used to Microsoft Flight Simulator that when you do the landing gear, you hear a sound with it going up, and you don't hear that here. Oh yeah, Amiga 500, yep, that was my first one. I had an Amiga 2000. I bought the 2000 because I wanted a video toaster. And then eventually I got an Amiga 4000, and I traded with NewTek. You could trade the Amiga 4000 in and get an Amiga, or not Amiga, the video toaster, and then you could trade that in and then get a Toaster 4000. And then with the Amiga 4000 and the toaster, you had the color wipes and everything. If I remember correctly, the girl that spins around and does this and stuff, I think her name was Kiki. I think they called them the Kiki wipes, if I remember correctly. But oh yeah, I have memories of the Amiga. And that's how I started learning about upgrading my own computer. That's just the thing with Amigas. You kind of learn how to upgrade it yourself. Putting in cards, maybe switching out processors or whatnot. That's where it first started. And that's why after I bought my first PC, which was a Packard Bell, which is a sucky brand. After that, I always built my own computer after that. And I wasn't sure if I could do it, but I was. And I still have my original board. It's over here somewhere. I still have my original board that I built my PC on. And I'm going to be rebuilding that PC to have an authentic platform for some retro stuff. Kiki Stockhammer, that's it. Oh yeah, I'm sure she did leave New Tech at one point. If I get my my Amiga 4000 up and running, I ought to do a review of the video toaster or something, and actually edit the whole video on the toaster and the flyer, and then convert that through Adobe Premiere or something. Okay, I think we are far enough that we can go ahead and load in the scenery disk. So, oh, and I got the classic floppy sound going on there. All right, we hit E. And there we go. We are now in Scenery Disk number 11. We'll switch, move over here to heading 140. So the very first programs, games that I had bought when I bought my Amiga 500, and I still have my receipt, was the Flight Simulator 2. I had gotten Deluxe Paint 2. I think it was 2, and not the first one. And Deluxe Music Construction Set 2. I think I got Marble Madness. And then this weird game called Libyans in Space. I don't think I got any Cinemaware games at the time. But I did wind up getting Defender of the Crown, Rocket Ranger, SDI, Three Stooges, and then Wings. Wings was awesome. That was an awesome game. And they did a remaster of Wings, which looks fantastic, which you can play on the PC. And they were going to do a remaster of Rocket Ranger. And the graphics, oh wow. it stayed true to what it looked like on the Amiga, but it was just all updated, and it just looked fantastic. Unfortunately, they weren't able to raise enough money for it. I was bummed. I was bummed out because I loved Rocket Ranger. And if you dig a little bit on KILR TV, you will see I do have some videos on the Amiga, because my daughter and we had done a show called the KILR Nerd Gamers. Those are some of the earliest videos on KILR TV, were those. And I did Rocket Ranger, I did Lemmings. What else? What else did I do? Alien Fires. Alien Fires, that one was on there too. Also did Forbidden Forest on the Commodore 64. One of the very, very old ones that's on the station, like 7 years ago, was Mail Order Monsters and the... what was it? The movie monster game or something like that? Where you can play like Godzilla or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and you sit there and you stomp through a city and crush buildings. Yeah, I think it was called the movie monster game. It was from Epix. I'm going to change this here. Oh, that's the comm radio. Oh, okay. I gotta switch my map again so I can see it. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. 117.50. Okay, we got a bit to fly then. We got like 61 miles until we get to Rosewood. Yeah, there's only one DME on this. You can't switch back and forth, unfortunately. Oh, well, that worked. Okay, good. We don't have to go to Rosewood then. Waterville tuned in. Well, see, now I have to switch this back. Wow, 75 miles. There's my heading. That little flashy red thing that's going on there, either that's what it normally does, or that is a result of me using or emulating a 68010 processor. This does not work with a 68020. Or does it? I think it does to a point, and then it freezes. But you wind up getting this flashy thing right here. It's really annoying. Yeah, TextRich. That's what I was saying. I think it might be because it's very possible. It could be it could be on the Amiga. I don't remember. But it could also be because I'm running it with a 68010 processor. Well, that had me going there. Yeah, we got the spot mode here. The first one to have the spot mode. Whoops. Nope, don't want that. Oh, I didn't know they had a remake of Wings for the Amiga 32. Or CD32. That's what it was called. What to call it? Gaming. Hippity hoppity, get off my property. You haven't been able to say that in a while. Oh, thanks, TextRich. That's pretty cool. I just, when it comes to the gameplay and stuff, I just like to, just tone it down. I know there are some people out there, they get like, it's almost as if they overact on channels. Do you know what I mean? It's like they overact and they get all emotional, and I'm not like that. Then again, I'm almost 50 years old. That probably has something to do with it. I'm just down to earth. Oh, dang it, I hit the wrong key again. Yeah, I'm just down to earth. Why is this? Oh, that's why I keep hitting D. Okay. I keep hitting the D key to update the gyro compass, and what it does is it puts me on tower mode. I was like wondering, what the heck is it doing? I don't know. Yeah, that whole Corona thing, I am so done with it. It has gone on long enough. That's a whole nother thing. We're not going to gripe about that. We want to keep things fun. Okay, up there should be Lake Erie up there. It's eerie, it's scary. Okay, before I start clicking that thing, let me pull up my box. See, I got a box. Can I change the VORs at the keyboard? That would be nice. Yes, yes, yes. Please, please, please. No. You can't. Dang it. Can't click and hold. That would be nice. Nope. I have to... There's a V key on there, though. Nope. That doesn't work. So I have to just click, 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 click. Yeah, I can't. I'm setting this for 330 so that way once we get the rosewood we can take that heading, and that should get us to the runway so we can line up. Whoops. There we go! Have I heard of Mammoth Cave? No, I have not. I thought Donald Pleasant sounded familiar. Yeah, TextRich, definitely. It really feels like winning when you can land and not crash. Oh, I remember how excited I was when on the Commodore 64 I was able to land and not crash. Because I always had that problem where, sometimes I still do, where the plane just stalls and hits, and noses down and hits the ground. It does it on this one too. Flight Simulator 3 and 4, not so much, but it still kind of has that problem. It started getting better with Flight Simulator 5. That's not how stall works. You don't stall the plane and it goes nose down. Not immediately. There we go. There's a road right over there. So you remember when I was saying that you can compare the graphics with each of the flights between all the different flight simulators, like specific flights, and based on what we saw yesterday, we still have the same kind of look where you have the dark green and the light green. And that was on, it wasn't on Scenery Disk 9, but it was on Scenery Disk 11. And sure enough, it's the same way here on the Amiga. I've already done the Commodore 64. I don't think it's on that. I don't think that one has it. I think it's just a one color. I was trying to get the stream started about 3 hours ago. But I hadn't installed my Amiga emulator on my i7 yet. It was on my i5, so I had to do a complete reinstall and copy things back in there. But I'm glad I did, because the earlier flights were in PAL mode, and so this right edge here had been cut off. Because when I was trying to use the NTSC version, whenever I try to load a scenery disk, it just froze. But then I figured out it was because I was using version 1.0. And the PAL version that I had used before was 1.1. So then, you know, it's like ding, 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 ding. I'm like, oh, wait. So I use the 1.2 version of the NTSC Flight Simulator 2, and sure enough, scenery disks work. A shark that's 350 million years old? And it's still alive? Can't be alive. You mean bones, right? Oh. The Amiga red arrow here. Cursor's in the way. We got 55 miles to go until we get to Waterville VOR, which is pretty close to Toledo. Oh, you want to hear something interesting? X-Plane 5 has this same exact engine sound. When I started doing all the old X-Planes, X-Plane 5 has the same sound. I'm like, huh, that engine sounds familiar. And then it finally changed. In X-Plane 6 on up, it was a different sound. Was it 5? Well, there are two versions of 5. There's one that's earlier than 5.5, which is what they call X-Plane Classic, because it has a different 3D engine on it that is almost like Flight Sim 5 or 4 and 5, somewhere around there. And then X-Plane like 5.51 on up was a different graphic engine. Kind of like how X-Plane 11 before 11.5 it was one thing, and after 11.5 is the Vulkan graphics. It was just like that. And I would have done a world tour with the X-Plane Classic, but unfortunately, it does not let you load up any of those airports. It says, you can't do that. You're running in demo mode. Please contact this number to buy a full version. And I had reached out to Austin Meyer about it. And he didn't even know that a commercial version of X-Plane 5 had been released. So, unfortunately, I am not able to get a full version of X-Plane Classic. About the only thing I can do is maybe fly around in the California area, and that's it. We've got 50 miles to go. Another thing that makes the Amiga version different from the Microsoft version is the center line. The center line is just thick. It is unusually a thick line. I didn't know any better I liked that it was a big thick line at the time, because on the Commodore 64 it was just this thin straight line, and no matter what you do, you couldn't really center yourself on the runway, because the line would either diagonally go one way or the other, or it would sit there and do this thing. And with the Amiga, I was able to line up on runways a lot better. And then playing all the newer flight simulators after that, and going back to the Amiga, seeing the center line now is kind of like, man, that's a big center line. It's like almost, it's like maybe like a third. It's about as third thick wide as the whole runway. We might see it at Toledo Express, so we'll see. Did I bring my... No, I didn't. Okay. Oh yeah, and this version does have autopilot. It was the first version to have autopilot. I don't quite like it though, because it doesn't keep it steady. It does this number slowly, but it does that, and it's kind of annoying. And it's not too hard to really level this off. Go. When I first got my Amiga and I had gotten Marble Madness, I didn't even know there was an arcade version of Marble Madness. I just saw it on display and the music sounded cool, and I was like, man, I gotta get that. I got that one. Fairy Tale Adventure. I don't remember how far I got on Fairy Tale Adventure. I don't know if I finished that one or not. I'd love to get back into that one. I'm trying to think of some of the other games that I had for the Amiga. One of the things, I'm always thinking of new ideas for the Killer TV YouTube channel. And one of the ideas that I had thought about was doing like a monthly Amiga series where each month is a different game. It'd be pretty cool to set up like an opening credit scene that was actually done with the like deluxe paint or something. We got 37 miles to go to Toledo. Nodster, Lemmings. It's on the channel. It is one of the older videos on the channel. Dates back about 6 years. My daughter and I, we had a series that we did together. And Lemmings was one that we did. Rocket Ranger we did. Alien Fires was another one. Lotus E-Spirit Turbo Challenge. Formula 1 Grand Prix. Test Drive 2. I had that one. Man, I remember that drove like crap. I remember trying to drive it and the Test Drive 2, it was not good. Oh, Battle Chess. Battle Chess. I have Battle Chess too. I'll have to, after we take a break after this flight, I need to grab my, I have one of those containers that has all, like all my Amiga floppies in it. I had to go get that and bring that over here. Man, I played the heck out of Battle Chess. I was pretty happy when I actually finally won a game. Oh, you know something else that I learned? When you pause the game, the clock still goes. It doesn't pause the clock. The clock keeps ticking. Sensible Soccer. I haven't done that one. Do you remember the TV Sports, though, that Cinemaware did? There was like TV Sports Baseball, TV Sports Football. Did they have a TV Sports Hockey? I can't remember. Cinemaware and Psygnosis had like the best games on the Amiga. At least in my opinion, they did. There was also Worms. Worms, I think, was a big one. It took forever for them to get Doom on the Amiga, and I think it was called Gloom, if I remember correctly, that they did a port of Doom, but it was called Gloom. By that time, I had already played it because I had the implant board and I had Shapeshifter to be able to do a Mac emulation. And I started playing more modern games using that. And then Flight Simulator 5 came out and I gave up. I was like, nope. I need a PC. I need to be able to play that. And then I found out about the MAME emulator. So I started using the MAME emulator on my first PC. Playing the old Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man and Donkey Kong and Spy Hunter, Missile Command, Gravatar, Tempest. Speedball 2. Yeah, I remember Speedball 2. I didn't have it, but I do remember it. Some of the other ones that I got, too, that were not so good, like I had gotten Dragon's Lair 2, and Space Ace, which on the Amiga, it had like 8 floppy disks or something like that. And you might get through one scene and then you had to switch a floppy disk to get to something else. You didn't have all the scenes as in the game. It was a disappointing set. Limited for obvious reasons, but man, it was so annoying when the PC started catching up in technology and you had the hard drive you could install everything to. And everything with the Amiga was still on a floppy disk. Eventually you could put stuff on a hard drive, but Cyber Graphics. I think that was the card that I had. I know I'd gotten a paint program called Photon Paint. There was a music program called, I think, Bars and Graphs. I couldn't figure that one out. Deluxe Music Instruction said I was spoiled with that because you could get, it's like looking at a sheet of music and you just put the notes on it. And the Bars and Graphs one was not like that, and it was hard to figure out. Xenon 2. I remember that. So we got that river coming up on the left side, just like the last time. I forgot which river that was. The Maumee River. Phase 5. That name sounds familiar. Yeah, so we got the Maumee River right here, which goes into Lake Erie. Man, flying these old scenery discs brings back memories. That's why I had started the World Tour 2 years ago. Because I wanted to relive the memories that I had with the Commodore 64, the Commodore Amiga, Flight Sim 5, 98. And then that was when I had gotten the X-Plane 11, and when I got ortho photos to work with it, I was just amazed by it. And then from there, I started adding more simulators. And now for the World Tour series, there's a total of 29 different simulators that all follow the same flight. Mostly. Alright, debugger. We'll see you later. Thanks for coming by. James Pond. Yeah, I do remember that one. Cannon fodder sounds familiar too. I'm trying to remember if there were any other games that I got for the Amiga. I know I didn't sell any. I know there were certain boxes I didn't keep. That was dumb. I wish I had kept the boxes. Okay, we got a road coming up there. Let's see what road that is. That is probably the I-75 or the I-90. I think Wings might have been one of the last games that I got for the Amiga. Because when I got the video toaster, I was playing around with that a lot. And then I had moved to a PC because of Flight Simulator 5. And I think I kept my Amiga for the video toaster and the flyer. I didn't really get any other games after that. I can't remember if I got a pinball game or not. Sounds familiar. We'll find out on the next flight. I'm gonna grab my box of floppy disks. I really wish there was a way to emulate the video toaster and the flyer, but those were hardware dependent. So there's not a way to emulate those. I really wish there was. Alright, we're seeing a little bit more of Toledo over there on the left. We got 10 miles to Waterville, and then we'll capture the 330 radial, and that should take us close to one of the runways so we can line up and land. The Amiga had some of the earliest 3D sculpting programs. There was one called Sculpt 3D, and then they had come out with Sculpt Animate 3D. That was my first 3D animation program. And oh my word, the length that it took to actually create an animation. I think I first had that on the Amiga and I had a 68,000 processor on it, and rendering one frame took almost all day. One line of resolution would be like dit, 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 and it would like halt. Dit, dit, dit. Took all day. It looked great when the one frame was done, but doing like a second of animation almost took like a week. I think I was able to get more done than that, but it was painful. And then they eventually came out with something, I think, with the serial connector or the parallel connector, where you were able to connect more than one Amiga together to do kind of like a rendering farm. Okay, that over there, that might, I think that's it. I think that is Toledo Express right there. Let's go ahead and start turning in that direction so we can capture that that 330 vector. That should do it there. Beneath a Steel Sky. Yeah, that, I remember that one. Here's the sad thing though. 11, 13 discs. If one disc goes bad, you're done. That's all it takes is one disc. I need to get some game reviews on the channel for Amiga games. That was one of the original things that I wanted to do, is I wanted to do 2 game reviews a week. One would be flight simulator related, and one would be non-flight simulator related. Oh, localizer is alive. It's alive. Alive! Weird science. Bits and pieces and bits and pieces and it's my creation. Oingo boingo. We're going to start dropping flaps. Get the landing gear down. Add some power here. And double check the altitude at Toledo. .686. I think I see the runway right there. You may be thinking, how in the world can I see it? It's because I'm looking for another line on the pixels. So you can see there's one runway, which is on one line of pixels, but then right below it is another one, really small. That's how I'm able to tell if there's where the other runway's at. Travis! Hey, hey, hey!
Hey, hey, hey! It's Travis Beamon.
Alright, let's pull up the map display here. Well, that didn't work. Oh, because I clicked the close button. Duh. Map zoom. Oh, I think that was the wrong way. Oh my word, I can't... I'm not seeing any scenery here. There we go. Alright, there's the runway. I see it. Oh my! Oh my! Yeah, I see it now. Drop another thing of flaps. But we won't do any more than that because we're at 60 knots. Do you recognize the engine sound there, Travis? They use the same digital sound on Flight Simulator 4 with the sound upgrade, and I'm pretty sure it carried over into Flight Simulator 5 too. But this is where it started, right here with the Amiga. That was the only thing carried over, because the sound effect for landing definitely was not pulled over. There's the center lines. Thick. Like I said, it's about a third as thick as the runway itself. This is where I start using the rudder. Gotta be careful. Bring her on down. Come on now. Yeah, you did not hear that sound effect on on the PC. Yeah, the sectional maps definitely helped. Yeah, I really relied on the VORs to try to get me lined up. And then I would use the navigational map to see if I was relatively close, because trying to come in at a curve is really difficult. But I tell you what, you should see some of my flights that I've done on like FSX P3D with a jet airliner. I do this crazy this crazy turn like this and wind up landing on the runway. And that's only because of how I've done it, you know, on these old simulators. I've had like a couple of viewers is like, you need to do a go around. I'm like, nope. Nope, we can do this. Because it's a lot easier to do it, to do a crazy last minute turn, like S-curve if you want, on the modern simulator than it is on this one. Oh, that's right. There's not a crash sound on this. The crash sound that they use is the landing gear sound. When you crash in, it's like, "Arr!" I love my fuel boxes. I don't have my fuel boxes in X-Plane. But we sort of kind of have them in Flight Simulator 2020. You don't see the box, but it's got the little fuel area. You land on it and the window pops up and put your fuel in there. We'll go ahead and end things right here, and I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the flight. If so, click that like button. It helps out. Also share the video, leave some comments. Give this video a little bit of love, because the more love that it gets, the more chances that other Amiga fans and flight simulation fans are going to be able to see it. Also, be a part of our KILR community and subscribe. Ring that notification bell. That's a good thing too, because that will notify you of future flight simulation content. Could be videos, could be game reviews, it could be more live streams, but you may want that notification so that way you know what it is that's uploaded and when it's uploaded. You may have a favorite series that you want to keep tabs on, so use that notification bell to your advantage. Also, I do some live streaming over on Twitch. Head over there and give me a follow. I do get a little bit of kickback there. I don't get anything with YouTube, so the more support I get over there on Twitch, the more that it helps me out. Also, I've got an Instagram account where I put pictures and photos of projects that I work on behind the scenes, just in case you're interested in what it is that I'm working on. Twitter, that's our official channel for communication with you folks. So it keeps you up to date on what's going on with the channel. And I'll put some retweets of things that I think you might find interesting. Snapchat, we just use that for fun every once in a while. If you happen to have an account, so do we. Go in at us if you'd like. And then Patreon for those of you who would like to donate and invest in the channel and help me make this channel grow. Really appreciate your help. There are bonuses there as well. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. And I will see you on the next exciting leg of our journey. Have a killer awesome day.